Yeah, 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 yeah. I keep the fire burning bright inside my sight. Nobody can stop the way I win every fight. Stepping out of the darkness into the pure light. I will soar above the clouds at this height. Every single day I push through the heavy rain, breaking all the links of every single lion chain. I am leaving behind all of the lingering pain. Nothing but pure glory left for me to gain. I am living life in the fast neon haze. People stop and stare with the very long gaze. My journey is moving through a complicated dark maze, setting the whole entire world on a wild blaze. I will never let the heavy weight go. Watch out, a river of my steady money flow. Everything I plan is finally starting to really grow, putting on a very bright and massive neon show. Fighting every day just to stay awake and alive. Into the deep blue water I will always dive, working hard like bees inside a busy honey hive. 90 miles per hour is the way I drive. There is no such thing as a bad mistake. Only the realest moves are the ones I make. I am jumping right across the cold blue lake, leaving all the people who are really being fake. I am wearing a heavy and very expensive crown. I will never let the city bring me down, making plenty noise in every single little small town. I am the king wearing a very golden gown. Everybody knows my brand and my famous last name, playing every single rule of this very wild game. No one can ever keep my wild spirit tame, lighting up the world with a very hot flame. Yeah. There is nowhere left for the weak to hide. Feel the rising power of the very heavy tide, taking every single person for a very long ride. Always keeping all my brothers right by my side. I'm standing firmly on the hard, dry ground. Listen to the rhythm of the heavy bass sound. I am the lost king who was finally found, spinning the whole entire planet all the way around. I can see the light of a distant star. We have already traveled very long and very far, driving through the city in a very fast car, raising up the level of the very high bar. I am finally feeling very happy and very free. There is no one else who can be me, sailing across the surface of the deep green sea. Everything I want is what I will finally be. Cleaning up the clutter of this very big mess, wearing a very beautiful and very expensive silk dress. Underneath the weight of the very heavy hard stress, everything I have is what I will now confess. Finding a brand new and very special bright way, doing what I want every single damn fine day. Listen to the words that I have to say while the DJ starts to really play, putting every single one of them to the test, giving my heavy body a very long deep rest. I am heading out to the wild, wild west, wearing a gold chain on my very thick chest. I am kicking down the heavy and locked door, leaving all the garbage on the cold hard floor. Always asking for a little bit of some more, walking down the sand of the very long shore. I will never ever show any kind of hate, walking through the very big and golden front gate, trusting in the power of my very own faith. Showing up early and never ever being very late, sitting all alone on my very own white throne, speaking to the world on a very loud phone, standing in a very scary and very dark zone. I am the toughest man I have ever known, always willing to pay the very high heavy price, rolling the black and white and very small dice. Everything I do is looking very cool and nice. I am chilling with the drink and some ice. Never ever ever gonna look back, keeping all my money in the very big stack, running very fast on the circular and long track, dressing in the suit that is very dark black. Look at the fire burning in my dark eyes. I'm heading up toward the very blue skies, disregarding all of the very heavy and bad lies. I am the winner who takes the gold prize. Listen to the way that I finally will sing, diamond on the finger of my very shiny ring. I am the ruler and the very big king, fly with the feathers of a very wide wing. I'm moving very hard and very fast, leaving all the shadows of my very dark past, building a legacy that will really truly last. The die for the future is finally being cast, living in a very vivid and a beautiful dream. Everything is exactly the way that it will seem, glowing with the power of a very bright beam, working very hard for the whole entire winning team. Yeah, I just broke the code to the heavy road. Watch me carry every single heavy gold bar load. All the secrets of the galaxy slowly start unfold, stories of the future that were never ever told. Every single person out here knows my heavy name. I am never playing inside of your boring game. Catch me lighting up the whole sky with flame. Nothing in this world will ever feel the same. See the vision moving right before your very eyes. Watch the hungry phoenix as it starts to rise. We are reaching for the limit in the skies. rise, winning every single moment in the biggest golden prize. Now we open up the heavy iron garden gate, moving through the city and we never arrive late. Written in the stars because it is my fate, living life on high and I am feeling great. Listen to the rhythm and the heavy bass sound, keep my feet moving on the solid dusty ground. Looking for the treasure that I finally have found, breaking every chain and I am no longer bound. Breathing in the magic of the cold city air, running to the top and I do not care. Walking through the fire with the crazy bold flare, climbing up the building on a silver metal stair. Feeling so electric and I am now finally alive, doing what I must just so I can thrive. Pushing through the pressure with a very deep drive, buzzing like a bee inside of a golden hive. Sitting on the top of a very high throne, everything I built was something I did all alone. Talking to the world through a copper wire phone, solid as a mountain or a very heavy stone. I am using every ounce of my inner might, pushing to the limit and I reach the high. Giving everything I have inside this heavy fight, everything I touch is turning out to be bright. There is no more reason for us to stay, we are going out into the world to play. This is how we find a better kind way, watch the way the buildings in the city sway. Taking in the feelings at the very, very far deep, all the promises that I will always truly keep. Working while the rest of the whole world sleep, climbing up the mountain and the hill is steep. Doing all the things that make it very well, living in the moment, not a tiny prison cell. Casting out the power of a very heavy spell, ringing out the music like a silver metal bell. Standing on the summit at the very highest peak, I am never feeling tired or ever feeling weak. Listen to the wisdom when you hear me speak, moving in the car that is very fast, sleek. I'm the only ruler of this neat town, never let a person come and take my crown. We are never going to slow it all down, wearing a leather jacket that is very dark brown. Every single move is looking very sharp and smart, I will never ever let the project fall apart. Working on the rhythm like it is fine art, this is only just the very beginning and start. Making all the moves so I get the cash, moving through the camera with a heavy light flash, running to the finish with a very quick dash. I will never let the whole entire system crash. Watching now the rhythm and the heavy water flow, everything I touch will start to really truly glow. There is something that I really want to know, putting on a very big and heavy giant show. Every single record is a very heavy global hit, working with a vision and a lot of grit, taking every piece and every single tiny little bit. I am never ever going to sit and quit. Dancing in the middle of a heavy traffic jam, closing up the door with a very loud slam. I am passing every single difficult and hard exam, counting every dollar and every single tiny little gram. Shifting into a very fast and heavy racing gear, knowing that the ending is finally getting very near. Looking at the water and it is very clear, I will never have a single drop of fear. Everybody in the building start to really loudly shout, never let a person have a single tiny doubt. We are going down a very different kind route, that is what the music is really all about. Watch me as I start to really quickly zoom. There is no more space inside this very room, coming with the very loud and heavy sonic boom. We will never ever be inside the dark room. I can do this with a very strong will, everyone around me better start to really truly chill. Living for the moment in the very heavy thrill, showing off a very crazy and a unique skill. This is getting closer to the very final end, I am never following the basic little boring trend. I will never ever let my rigid spirit bend, this is the message that I really want to send.